Let's get factual. My name is Cora Owens, and I'm representing the 6th block animal science class. Last month, CNN 10 showed a video that caused a lot of controversy within the agricultural industry. So we're here to show you our side of the story. Let's get started.
Quincy, do you feel safe or do you worry about what goes into your meat?
No, I mean, it's whatever. I don't really care.
Why?
As long as it tastes good. I mean, I don't care if chicken nuggets are made up of eyeballs. The chicken, I'm still going to eat them. It's gonna be all right.
Is your image of the livestock industry good or bad?
I feel really fortunate. I grew up on a farm in Indiana, and I understand that in the United States, I feel like our livestock industry is really good. We're very fortunate to have a lot of different kinds of laws in the United States that help really guide our livestock industry. I've been a part of a lot of different livestock industry. My sister actually raises horses for a living.
Thank you. Do you think it is safe to consume meat from animals that have been fed antibiotics?
Yes, I do.
Is there a certain reason why?
Well, because animal husbandry and animal production is regulated by the USDA, and they've never let me down yet.
I'm here with Kim Cook, the owner of Cook Family Feed Barn, and today we're going to be discussing antibiotics in our animal feed.
Do you sell feed with antibiotics in it?
We do have feed with antibiotics in it. Most of it is hog feed. The show pig feed has a lot of antibiotics in it. There's some cattle feed that has antibiotics as well. Those are the two that have the most of them in there, the typical ones.
Do you know what antibiotics are in those feed?
Yes, there's different ones that don't require what's called a VFD. It's a veterinary feed directive that comes from a vet. The clients of the vets have to go there and say what feeds they're wanting to use that have antibiotics. That was designed to make sure that the feeds that have antibiotics in them are medically necessary rather than just in there for growth promotion and that sort of thing. That was a change that happened just a few years ago. So those customers have to come. There are some other antibiotics that we have. There's some bambamycins, BMD, those kind of things don't require a VFD, and some of the feeds have those, but not all of them.
How many people come by to buy antibiotic feed?
Probably on an average day, the show pig feed, there are probably 3 different varieties of those that have antibiotics in them that don't require the VFD that I was talking about from the vets. So that's a little more typical. The vets that have to write prescriptions or the VFD for something called CTC or Aramycin, Tylenol, those kind of things. I don't have very many people that use those, and that's something that I have to keep records on file. That's probably 5 people a month that use those feeds. They're not as typical.
Do you have to have a license in order to sell feed with antibiotics in it?
It's not necessarily a license. What I have to have as the feed dealer is called an AOD. It's an authorization to distribute those feeds that require the veterinary feed directives. I have those with the companies that I deal with that sell either the antibiotic feed to me or whether they're getting it. So there's not a license, but it's an agreement that you're going to only sell those to people that have the feed directives and you're going to distribute it correctly.
Do you personally give antibiotics to your own animals?
We raise show pigs, and it does require some use of antibiotics when we have the little pigs that are still in the nursery. Most of the time they require an antibiotic just for overall general health, just to keep them alive. But typically just to be using it in feed all the way through for growth promotion and those kind of things, we don't use it for. If we need medication, because a lot of times you'll get a cough or you'll have some gut health issues and that sort of thing. If we have those issues, then we do call our vet. Most of what we use at home is not run through the feed. We use it through a water medicator because the pigs, when they're sick and they truly need the antibiotics, they're going to continue to drink water before they're going to eat the feed. And so, we try to use it when it's medically necessary for the most part, but that's it.
Do you feel that your customers know what's in their feed?
I do feel that most customers know what's in their feed. Most of the people that come through want to have healthy animals, and so they have an idea of what they want to feed. Then if they don't know, most of the people will ask questions and ask, they want to know what's going into their animals because they mean a lot to them, whether it's a pet or whether it's a show animal or something that they're raising for, production. They want a healthy animal and they want to know what's in it. So
Do you feel that the products that you sell are safe?
I do think they're safe. It goes back to what I just said of people, they care about their animals. They want healthy animals. I spend a lot of time talking with feed sales reps, people from the different feed companies, and they have, huge divisions of research and development trying to develop the best quality feeds to produce healthy animals. That's the goal of all the feed companies. So.
We believe in the safe use of antibiotics.
I think that we need to remember as consumers, the people that buy and sell goods and services, that everything that we hear on TV, everything that we see on social media is not necessarily the truth. It is worth your time to do research before you formulate an opinion and then try to spew that opinion all over when it is incorrect.
We believe in producing enough food for the growing population. We believe in informing the public on the animal industry. Not fat, it's muscle.
Meat that you consume from animals is muscle, not fat. Depending on the animal, their amounts of feed convert to different amounts of muscle.
Not drugs, it's antibiotics.
The FDA requires the establishment of uniform feed ingredient definitions and proper labeling to assure the safe use of feeds.
No secrets, it's easily accessible.
In 2015, a veterinary feed directive was adopted by the U.S. The federal government prohibited non-therapeutic use of antibiotics in feed animals that should reduce usage.
There's something else that I want to remind you about. The United States of America has the safest food system in the whole world. Let me say that again. The safest food system in the whole world.